we thought we'd come do a video today on StarLink versus T-Mobile. We have some friends that have T-Mobile, and we spent a couple of weeks with them and been talking to them about how they like theirs, and they were interested in how we like the StarLink. And we discovered, talking to each other, that there's good and bad to both of them. So we thought we would go over the pros and the cons for both. The people we were talking to was Bill and Deb from I Ride Tiny House. If you haven't seen them before, go over and subscribe to their channel, or at least go over there and check them out. They have a lot of really good information. But we were talking, and they were really interested in our StarLink. And our StarLink was doing good one day. We were in Florida, and the next day I couldn't hardly get any upload speed out of it. And they were talking about doing a live, a YouTube live while we were there. And so we got to checking speeds. He was checking his, and I was checking mine each day. And he could get enough to do it on his barely some days, and then some days I could get enough. So they were kind of running neck and neck as far as speeds were going. But what we found interesting was the conversation about the pros and the cons. So the pros for me for the StarLink is it works just about anywhere. Problem is, if you're sitting in a campground or somewhere
under trees.
Yeah, if you have trees or big obstructions or something, it's not going to work very well at all. Yeah. Now, on the other side of that, the pro for T-Mobile is that T-Mobile, as long as you have cell signal, it works off of the G5 for the most part, and it works really well as long as you have a signal, which is better than the StarLink at that point. However,
and this is just our opinion on it.
It's just our opinion, just our experience and talking to each other. However, with T-Mobile, if you get in a place where you don't have cell service,
like out west, it's a lot. It's a lot out west.
So you're dead in the water. You have nothing. The pro for StarLink is if you do get out west, like Kathy was saying, where you don't have any cell signal. Let's say you break down, because currently we are broke down in Georgia.
Yes.
There's another video coming about that.
We would tell you the place,
but we sprung a fuel leak in the return fuel line, and it destroyed the fuel pump. And anyway, any of you that have Fords and know about the CP4s, and it's nasty, but very expensive to fix. But they should have us going Tuesday. Anyway, back to the StarLink and the T-Mobile. If you get out in the middle of nowhere and break down, the good thing with StarLink is, as long as you can see the sky, which is pretty much anywhere out west, you set it up and you have an internet connection. So you can take your cell phone and put it in Wi-Fi and do Wi-Fi calling over it. So that's a pro to me. That's important to me.
Yes.
Because we do travel a good bit, so it's really important to me to be able to call no matter where I'm at. It's just a safety thing for me. And with Kathy not having the mobility she used to have, it's just comforting to me to know that no matter where I'm at, I get a signal.
Yeah.
So that's a pro. Now the con side of a StarLink is,
if you're in a campsite under trees, it doesn't work. You have to sit it out in the middle of the road, or
you might can
somebody
tell
else's campsite.
We're in a state park campground right now. We don't have the best signal.
But it's good. It's not. It could be worse. It's better.
We're still able to watch TV and stuff, and I have been doing some YouTube stuff. It's just really slow, but it still works.
Yeah. This is a very nice campground. Also, it's really nice. It's beautiful.
I'll tell you, because we'll be gone before this comes out, but we're in Adele, Georgia, and we're at the Reed Bingham State Park. And if you've ever been here, come. In fact, there's another video coming out of a tour of this park, so you can see it.
We got a great lot.
Yeah, very pretty.
It's level.
Really nice people that run the place. Anyway, going back to what I was talking about with one of the cons to the StarLink to me is it costs $150 a month for the RV version, and the home version is a little cheaper, but you can't take it with you all the time, because if you do, you have to constantly change your address. Well, that's just not good. So the RV one is $150. You take it anywhere you want to go. T-Mobile is $50 a month, and it works anywhere you got cell signal. So that's a huge plus to me.
Yeah.
So
It would work great unless you're out west a lot. Out west,
yeah, and then
there's nothing
there's
out
certain
west.
places even in the mountains and stuff in the east that you don't
Yeah.
have cell signal. So again,
Yeah.
StarLink, as long as you can get a shot at the sky, you can get a signal, and you can use your phone,
Yeah.
to make emergency calls or watch TV, whatever you want to do with it. But to me, $150 versus $50, that just seems way
That's
out of line
big.
to me.
Mhm.
Looks like, and I understand that StarLink is new and upcoming, and there's a lot of research and development they're trying to pay for, and we're all paying for that. But
Oh yeah.
that's the beauty of having StarLink, I guess, is it just works anywhere to some degree. So that's kind of the pros and the cons. We talked a good bit about it.
Depends on where you're going to travel too, I guess, would be the big
Yeah.
thing.
One of the funny things we found that started the conversation the first night was I had my StarLink set up, and they had a tent set up.
They were racing to see who's had the highest ups and downs.
Yeah, but the funny part was they had a tent set up that we were all sitting in at night because it was raining some. And when it decided to find its signal, it pointed straight at the side of that tent, and it was getting a better signal and better speeds bouncing off that tent than it was trying to look straight up in the sky. So we found that very odd, and that's what started the conversation. But again, I don't know if Bill's got anything on his YouTube channel, but about the T-Mobile. I think he's got something on there about T-Mobile I saw here a while back about how much they liked it and stuff and how it worked. But go check them out. It's I Ride Tiny House. But
They're good people. We
yeah.
love them. Love spending time with them.
Me, I thought we'd just share with you the pros and the cons that we found.
Yeah.
With both sides,
Yeah.
talking to other people. But we can tell you firsthand about StarLink. We've had it now for, I guess, about a year
2
now.
years. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe longer. Yeah.
2 years.
Time gets away from you when you're having fun.
Yeah, because down in Eufaula, we had it down there too.
That's true.
But-
We were using it down there.
And you do get signal most of the time everywhere you are. We've only been in one campground, and it was in Georgia, that it didn't work very well
Oh,
because
yeah.
we were under trees completely.
It was a
And,
canopy of trees.
Yeah, it was just.
We did get a signal. Like I said,
Yes,
you'll get
we
a
did.
signal, but
But it's in and out.
it was terrible. We was having a hard time watching TV. It just kept buffering, and it just didn't work very well. But that's one time out of
All the times we've
all the times
traveled.
in the last year we've been out. It just works.
Mhm.
So if you're thinking about getting one for the reasons that we just discussed, the pros, you can't beat it in my opinion. The cons to it, they're annoying, but
Just weigh them out.
it's still good. The cost of it to me is a little high. I hope over
Yeah.
time it comes down, but you guys know, once something hits a certain price, it never comes back down. T-Mobile, on the other hand, man, $50 a month, what a deal. I mean, I just don't know how you
Yeah,
beat
I
that, to be
know.
honest with you. And if you're
I
looking
know.
for redundancy to where if one don't work, the other does, like you work remote, I work part-time remote, so it's important to me to have a signal where I'm at. So I don't know, in the future we may entertain a T-Mobile also, because we're actually going to switch phones, and we're on Verizon now. We're going to switch phones here soon, and we may do one T-Mobile phone and the other phone with Verizon or somebody. Just stay with Verizon with one of them. But it's like I said, it's important to us to be connected.
Yes.
We still like to talk to our grandkids when we're gone, and talk to our kids.
Yeah.
Um,
Y'all know how important it is to stay connected to your family.
yeah,
And I just can't hardly go without talking to my kids and my grandkids.
yeah.
I just think you're supposed to.
And,
And I love it.
and we even get to
Brightens
talk
my
to our,
day.
we even get to talk to our parents, and
Yeah,
you know,
our parents do.
if you're
yeah.
blessed to still have your parents,
Yes.
man, that is awesome.
Yeah.
They're
Enjoy them.
yeah, they're aging. I lost my dad 3 years ago, but I still have my mother, and we talk. Well, in
Every
fact,
day.
she talks to my wife more than she talks to me, so I'm not sure what's up with that.
Hey, she loves me. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
But we talk to her mom and dad regularly
Every day,
too.
yeah. Just
It's,
you just gotta,
it's
touch
just a joy
base.
to be able to know you can talk to them when you're on the road.
yeah,
Um,
make sure everything's okay. You know.
yeah.
And then sometimes you have to do surprise visits so that they can't prepare on the phone.
Yeah.
Momo, you know who I'm talking to.
So anyway, we won't hold you up any longer. We just thought we would do one about StarLink. We're actually sitting here in the campground, and I looked over at the StarLink, and I told Kat the other day, I said, we ought to do one on StarLink versus T-Mobile. Or I shouldn't say versus. It's just StarLink and T-Mobile and the pros and the cons of them.
Yeah.
There's both of them have good side and the bad side. So really not one versus the others. It's the practicality.
It's what you need.
It's practicality of what you want. But now you know what we know. So we'll see you in the next video.
All right, bye-bye. Make each day count. 365. Thank you.
Bye-bye.